Governor Adeleke today has visited President Bola Tinubu after a governorship election victory. Political cap burning incident in Kano has raised tension in the state as campaigns for 2027 election resumed. Hello everyone, welcome to the program and thank you for joining in. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Shion Wakimbale for you here in our Abuja. So there's so much for us to talk about. And you might have an idea of what we're going to be talking about. One of Nigeria's most politically volatile states is really getting in the heat of the moment. Not only about the heat of the fire burning the cabs that we saw in that video, but there is more intensity now in the race because one of their own son will be on the ballot against another candidate or other candidates. But how this will pan out is leading to some political tension that we're seeing in Kano State, one of Nigeria's most volatile states of the region. But let's tell you that relief has returned to a Nasarawa community after security operatives rescued a father who was reportedly abducted after paying ransom to secure the freedom of his kidnapped son. Joseph Obagu was said to have gone to negotiate the release of his son, Samuel Olom Obagu, a student of the Federal University of Lafayette, when the kidnappers allegedly freed the student and held his father in place. Operatives of the Department of State Services later stormed the kidnappers' hideout around the Tabula village in Obiloko government area, rescued the father and dismantled the makeshift camp, while 3 suspected members of the syndicate were arrested in a separate operation in Lafayette. Governor Abdullahi Sule has been reacting to the operation, commending the DSS and other security agencies for what he described as their vigilance and commitment to combating violent crime, pledging continued government support and urging residents to provide credible information that could help security agencies protect communities. The traditional ruler of the Duruguru community, Chief House Ogu, says the operation has brought considerable relief to residents who have lived with the threat of kidnapping, describing the rescue as evidence of what intelligence-led security operations and cooperation from local communities can achieve. And now we know that Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has visited President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja today. This is marking their very first face-to-face meeting since Senator Adeleke secured a second term last Saturday governorship election. At that meeting, Senator Adeleke was being accompanied by several heavyweight politicians in the Accord Party in Osun State, and the president personally congratulated Governor Adeleke on his victory in the Osun poll a day after the result was announced. The president described the outcome of the election as a fitting assurance that democracy will continue to flourish in our country and urged the governor to extend his hand of fellowship to residents irrespective of how they voted. Several members of Adeleke political team were also seen at the presidential villa. After that meeting, Senator Adeleke told journalists that he has, quote, "Yeah, that's why I'm here to thank Mr. President, the father of the nation, because he fought for his democracy, for this democracy. That is why he allowed free and fair election. That is the result. That is why I'm here to say thank you to ensure that democracy lives in Nigeria." End of quote. I'm going to take you to Kano State tonight. But before we get into the politics of Kano, which invariably will affect whatever that you are going to see, not only in the northern part of Nigeria, but in different parts. Nigeria's journey to 2027 has moved from political calculations to the campaign trail. And tonight, the battle for the presidency is increasingly taking shape in the northern region of the country, particularly in Kano State, where old lawyer ties are being tested. New alliances are emerging, and even the famous red cap has become a potent symbol of a change in political context. As President Bola Tinubu seeks another mandate, the bigger question is whether defections, endorsements, and political machinery can translate into votes in a region confronting insecurity, economic hardship, and rising expectations, and whether Rabbi Kwankwaso, the son of the soil in Kano, his political formidability or influence in Kano can withstand the realignments gathering around the president. Beyond personalities and party colors, what will truly shape the northern vote? The performance, identity, economic reality, or political allegiance? Let me show you what really triggered all of this. I understand that it all started with the burning of those who abandon or those who think that following or going with President Bola Tinubu and the APC is not the right way to go. And they showed that in how they dumped the infinity insignia of Bola Tinubu, and they were burning the caps. And you probably will see the incident. The broom, the cap were all being burnt by those lawyers to allegedly loyal to Senator Kwankwaso. And so as this was being done, and you can see what exactly this looks like.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
That became a trigger, and it may have been done by a few people, as you see a few caps being burnt, but the retaliation now became a massive one. So the red cap in the which is being mostly won by Kwankwaso, members of the Kwankwaso movement, is being burned. This very incident, we understand, was happening around the Kofa Bebeji area of Kano State. But in all of this, what does this interpret? You know, when Kano is alive politically, when Kano moves politically, there's a lot. You're talking about over 1 million votes in contest, and it means a lot. So if you are able to get the attention of Kano voters, you are in the game. But tonight, let's deal with the issues. Tonight, is it a case of allegiance, a case of identity, or what? Tonight, we interrogate the rhetoric, the realignments, and the numbers behind the race for 2027 with a man who has stood close to different sides of Kano politics and the political divide. And now it makes the case, is making the case for President Bola Tinubu. His Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin, a member of the House of Representatives, a former chairman of Finance Committee in the House, a former chairman of Appropriations Committee, and the presently chairman of Housing Subcommittee in the House. Thanks so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Sean.
You are neither. The last two appearances before this one, you were donning the Kwankwaso cap?
No, the last one I wasn't.
I said the last but two.
Oh, the last was two.
Yeah,
correct, correct.
So you were donning you were still firmly with Kwankwaso.
Yeah.
But this time around,
Correct.
you're on the other side of the divide.
Correct.
And that incident that we saw, you were present in the burning of the Kwankwaso cap.
Correct.
This looks like a very negative and a very extreme tendency, political tendency that is happening in Kano that can fast degenerate, don't you think?
Well, it's important to say very clearly. Of course, you laid the background. We didn't start this, and it has always been a strategy of intimidation. Often than not, if you do not retaliate in a situation like this, the next thing again, they will take it to another level. And the person you saw in the video there, he is just not an entity. He is the leader of the Kwankwaso movement. Very known personality, respected personality in the community that went to supervise that. And it is not only about supervising it. They actually said they are launching. So he's directing their supporters to now go ahead and do the same act in every corner of the zone. And so as politicians, sometimes we do tit for tat. And we got to know that late in the night, and by morning, our supporters, the only way you could calm down the APC supporters, the supporters of the president in Kano, the supporters of the governor in Kano, was to, well, in fact, that is the minimal of what can be done. If we hadn't even done that, only God knows what would have happened. So the supporters came out en masse, and you can see the numbers. And I said it in the speech I made there at the venue where the cabs were burnt. They know they are going to lose the election.
When you said they
know that, of course, the NDC in Kano, they know that, and particularly in that particular zone, which is Kano South, which is key, they know that there is there's nothing they can do on earth to win Kano South, which is usually a key swing zone in Kano, of course, with Kau there, with Kabiru, Al-Hassan, with Al-Hassan Dogua, in that zone with Abdullahi Rogo. They know that with myself and the rest, they know there's nothing. So I think it's a deliberate thing they did, just a day before the commencement of campaign, to start up a crisis and to create confusion. And but we're not going to give room for that.
So it was an orchestrated, deliberate effort of retaliation.
What we did, yeah. Absolutely.
So from your own words, they provoked you.
They provoked us.
So you went and purchased all of their caps in the market.
No. A lot of members were being lined up that were supposed to be received into the APC from the Kwankwaso movement. They are supposed to be received into the APC next Monday. So what we did was to invite all of them to come. They came there. They are the supporters that you are seeing there. They came en masse to the camp from the Kwankwaso NDC movement to the APC. And so it is their caps that you are seeing there that were all put, and they willingly allowed it to be burnt.
What is the significance of the cap burning?
Well, I think it is better you ask those who started it. Ours was that we just retaliated. I think the person that you need to ask that question is that man who is called Bello Shaus. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows where he lives and the rest. They should ask him, what was he trying to achieve by burning the cap with the symbol of the president and the governor? Then secondly, burning the broom, the symbol of the APC. It's provocative. We didn't even burn the symbol of the NDC. We were cautious. We didn't burn the symbol of the NDC. All we did was that of the Kwankwaso. So we try to manage.
So if they continue burning the caps,
escalate.
you also will continue burning their caps. Is that what how this will go now?
Absolutely, without any iota of doubt.
But don't you think, as a leader of the party and as a big political figures in Nigeria, you have just entered an election campaign season in which politicians have just signed a peace accord committing themselves to reject hate speech, intimidation, inflammatory, provocative conduct. How does public burning of the symbol of the rival political movement fit into the kind of politics Nigeria says it wants in 2027?
When somebody comes with a knife and he's trying to cut off my neck, what do you want me to do? To hold it and push it back. So we are not the ones creating problem. We don't make problem. We don't create trouble in Kano. We don't look for trouble. All we do is that we just campaign. We're minding our business. We don't throw abuses at them.
So you have just told me.
But we know them very well.
You have just told me that if they continue burning your effigies and your symbols or insignias or anything relating to the APC, you will retaliate.
We will retaliate because we will not allow anybody to ridicule our president or our governor or our party.
But
we will never allow that. Never. We will not.
But as a national political leader,
yes,
would you tonight, for the sake of peace, condemn the burning of those caps tonight? Yes or no?
Well, for now, I will have to go consult with our supporters. We have a large number of supporters who are very angry until this moment. Extremely upset. Very upset. And we've been going around trying to calm them down. And look, Shehu, you have no idea what we have to do between day before yesterday to this morning to ensure that peace reign in that.
What does it take you? You are saying it will take you to go back to Bebeji, to go back to Kofa, to go back to Nasarawa local government, to go back to Kano State, to go and persuade your people or ask them whether to condemn a bad behavior. This is a bad political behavior, don't you think?
So what do you think we should do? We should allow them to continue to burn our caps.
I'm asking you as a political figure, would you condemn that kind of behavior or no?
I'm answering you with a question that what will you do when someone comes to your house trying to stab you with a knife? What do? You will just say, oh, I condemn that action. You protect yourself. You defend yourself, Shehu. Let's be realistic and
by being violent in the same manner?
No, self-defense.
Is that so? That is self-defense.
That is politically self-defense. In politics, that is self-defense. Show me one place where we looked for trouble. There's none. But you want us to sit down and fold our hands, and you ridicule the president?
But I thought that you said you are the peaceful one here.
Well, when you're provoked to a point where somebody wants to diminish you, what do? That's the point. That's the focus of the conversation. I'm wondering how
you have. But can you tell Nigerians tonight that behavior was a bad one?
Well, I said to you, the situation is very delicate at the moment, and it is sensitive. And I believe that those who ignited this crisis should be there talking to themselves to exercise restraint.
But is it a bad behavior or not?
Well, politically, it is tit for tat.
But whatever they did, is it bad or not?
When somebody defends himself...
I'm asking about their own conduct. Do you think it's a bad conduct or not? Honorable, what happened on the Ashiwaju cap and the broom? Is it a bad thing or not?
When somebody comes to attack you and you defend yourself by attacking him, what he is trying to do or he was trying to do is wrong. But what you did is right.
So wrong plus wrong is right.
Well, you've taken... Well,
that's your mathematics.
We are not going into econometrics here. Yeah. So it's a simple and a straightforward thing. It's in politics. We were provoked, and it was something symbolic, and it could have a huge psychological effect. And by now, if there wasn't retaliation, everybody in the country would have been saying, oh, the president has no supporters in Kano. He has nobody in Kano. He is with nobody in Kano. That is the impression they wanted to create.
But you know how volatile Kano is.
Yes, of course.
Politically speaking.
Yes.
You know that, literally speaking,
yes,
you could set Kano on fire.
They could set Kano on fire, not us.
Because you retaliated in a manner.
They could set
one or two cars being burnt, one broom being burnt. Then you went all out, the whole village.
It is not number.
All of the matches and the petrol in the whole of Bebeji.
It is not about.
You use it to burn the caps there.
It is not about numbers. It is about the significance of what happened. And
so what do you think?
And don't forget. They said they were launching it, so that means they were going to continue to do it.
So you are sending a warning that if they continue
to do it,
you will match them, might for might, strength for strength, violence for violence.
I didn't say violence.
That is violence, Honorable.
Don't you think? That's
violence.
I didn't say violence.
That's violence.
For violence. But you know what? When somebody approach you with violence to a point of trying to take your life, wouldn't you defend yourself?
Honorable, do you remember what happened in 2011? Innocent UCOM members were killed in Bauchi.
Yes.
Blood on the street. One person saying the blood of the monkeys and the baboons will flow on the street. Either he meant it or not, you know what happened. Yeah. The lives of those young people that were lost can never be returned.
Yeah.
And that's why we are warning and we're telling you tonight as a political figure. Yeah. Can you talk to the sensibilities of those of your followers who are watching tonight to say, this should not be about violence. This should be about a peaceful conduct of an election to determine the leadership of this country. It's not a do-or-die affair, is it?
If you had listened to what I said that is the minimum of what would have happened to save the day. Because what our supporters wanted to do, if you know the effort that we made in Kano, the party leaders and the rest, in fact, until this moment, the governor is still holding meetings, talking to leaders to calm down and calm down and calm down, because everybody was at peace.
And you know the reason why.
I think the focus. You need to bring that.
Those of you who are political.
Do you know that?
Just a moment, sir. Those of you who are political leaders in Kano have to be very careful. You know why? So that you don't turn the country south. And you know the reason. There was a cleric who was speaking publicly and was talking and praising and glorifying a religious sentiment, saying the Muslim ticket or Muslim idea must be sustained. And these are extremities that should not be allowed in our politics. Don't you think you're taking it too far? This election, must it be a do-or-die affair?
Well, I think about that you need to bring the cleric here in the studio to talk about.
But some of you leaders were there in the present. Nobody condemned it. Nobody said, no, that's not the right thing today. Instead, people were applauding it.
Well,
do you think that this election and campaign should go by religion and ethnicity?
He is the best person to talk about.
But do you think that narrative is a good one? Honorable, that narrative, isn't it a bad one for our politics, Honorable?
I think the best thing to say, or the appropriate thing to say here, is for all of us to admit that ethnicity, religious issues, have always been part of our politics. Not that we support it, but it's always been part of the conversation in our national politics. So if someone takes a particular position, or Mr. B takes a particular position, I think the appropriate thing to do is to sit with those people. You can go to Jos. You do go sit with people. Go to Jos and sit with him and have a conversation with him. And I'm pretty sure maybe he has his own defense why he made that that comment. But I think the whole of these little matters, aside from the constructive issues or engagements in our political terrain, have always been part of our politics, and they will never go away. They will always be part of our politics.
What is the significance and the major implication of the cap burning in Kano?
Well, I told you the best person that can answer the question with precision are those people who burnt it. But our own interpretation and how it affected us, it is what they call psychological warfare. And even in politics, there's psychological warfare. So they've resorted to psychological warfare. Maybe it is a prelude to violence, I don't know, but they resorted to psychological warfare. And we have to match that because it also works in politics. So that's what they wanted to achieve.
Honorable, I tried to extract something that could be easily a common sense for anyone that is watching tonight. And I pleaded with you in a subtle way to be able to campaign and speak to you as a political figure in this country to just draw the message and say, no fight, no violence, no bloodshed, no violence. Are you able to commit to that tonight, Honorable? Honorable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you able to look at the camera and say, no more burning of anything, no violence, peaceful election?
Let me turn and look at the camera and also say, Sheun, I think you should get the full video of my speech at the venue of that event. I said everybody should maintain calm. I said very clearly that we never looked for anybody's trouble. We want this campaign to be peaceful. We want this campaign to be issue-based. And moving forward, everybody should maintain peace and harmony, and let's go campaign. And we know very clearly we are going to defeat them thoroughly in the election. So we commit to peace. We commit to issue-based campaign.
I want you to tell Kofa people, Bebeji people, to say, my good people of Bebeji, my good people of Kofa, don't burn caps again, don't burn anything. Be calm, no violence. I want you to be able to commit.
No, of course, I am committed to no violence, but I won't.
Can you tell your followers to
no, I won't be able to tell them that I will no cap burning, because if tomorrow they go ahead,
you continue burning caps.
No. If tomorrow they go ahead and burn caps, what do you want me to do?
So
I don't make
another
decisions.
person's bad behavior will prompt your own bad behavior.
Self-defense, not bad behavior. Self-defense.
It's bad behavior.
No, it's self-defense. It's self-defense.
Why have things gone to this extreme? On one day, you were a Kwankwaso praiser and ally. All of a sudden, you're on this other side to the point that you gather your supporters to burn the cap of your former boss and principal. So, the person who a lot of people say helped you to return to the house.
Severally, people have tried everything they can to make me talk about my relationship with Kwankwaso. But I have resisted it. And I will continue to resist it. When I work for someone, for whatever it is, for the respect you have for when you were together, I think there should be some sense of dignity in showing respect.
Don't you think it's disloyalty for the man who is responsible for the seat you are sitting in the house today, and you are working so vigorously, speaking so vigorously against him in public? You don't think that this political betrayal and disloyalty?
Well, it's not political betrayal and this loyalty. All I think you are trying to do is to get me deeply involved in a conversation, and I'm talking about Kwankwaso. Of course, when I got into the politics, and by the time I met him, I was modestly okay. I was grounded. And of course, he gave me a push in politics, and I appreciate everything. And as I've said repeatedly, I will continue to respect him, and I will never join issue with him. We've all changed parties and loyalty. He himself has changed parties.
Are you able to acknowledge and thank him tonight that he helped you to retain this seat?
Thank you very much for everything you've done for me in my life. Thank you, Kwankwaso, for everything you've done.
But then you will work to bring him down. That's how to pay him back.
Well, you are trying, as a lawyer, you are trying to drag me to give my own side of the story, which I will never do for
But can you stop, with all of this, can you stop Kwankwaso from winning Kano again? Is it possible?
Absolutely, because we know him very, very well. We know his strategy. He's still very influential. He has supporter base in Kano. Whoever tells you he doesn't have a supporter base is not telling you the truth. So it's going to be, just for you to know, Shewin, it's going to be a very tough one.
Can Tinubu actually defeat Kwankwaso in Kano?
But he will. He will.
How? What is the pathway?
Because many of us who understands the dynamics, his strategies, how he operates, the Kwankwasia movement, their strength, their weaknesses, we're all here. And we've been meeting. And we know how we will be able to deal with the situation. But talking about
because I know that politically speaking, Bola Tinubu owes the Kano people. This presidency is largely a Kano support for Bola Tinubu, because the 500,000 or so votes that Bola Tinubu was the biggest push in one single state that he's gotten.
Yeah.
And that means that if it were not for Kano, Bola Tinubu would have had a setback. So there are those who will say, not only in Kano would Kwankwaso or Peter Obi win. Jigawa is up for grabs for Peter Obi and Kwankwaso. Bauchi is up for grabs for Kwankwaso and Peter Obi. And these are the narrative that is going down and which is making some of you uncomfortable. And you wanted to take it by force.
Okay, I tell you this. There's a difference between Kwankwaso being on the ballot and as a presidential candidate and being on the ballot as a running mate. There is a sharp difference. They're completely two different things. If Kwankwaso were on the ballot as a presidential candidate, the dynamics in Kano might be different, but he is not the presidential candidate. There are things that I will want to see, but I will not see it for now for strategic.
Show me the mathematics of how you think Tinubu will win. Is it in terms of performance? Is it on the issues that he's going to campaign on?
Correct. I'm giving you answers.
Show me the maths.
Of course.
What is the pathway?
In terms of the work, and that is why the last time I came on the program, I said to you, the problem is that the people who are holding political appointments, who are getting this job done, are not talking as much as they should. Take Kano for instance. The president has just approved, and it is going to be the commencement of something that we've wanted to do in the last 60 years. That is the intra-state rail system, costing about 1 trillion. The president has just completed a power substation in Bichi, and he's commenced another one in the largest food agricultural market, Dawanau. The president has done a lot of upgrading and bringing in a lot of equipment in our largest hospital, Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital. The president has ensured that he completed the Kaduna to Kano road. Now you will drive smoothly. Everything that is left is just the sidewalk that they're doing. Then, of course, the Kaduna, Abuja, the minister has confirmed that it will be completed by November. If you pass the road, you will see the extent of work that is going on. So a lot of empowerment programs are going on in Kano. In the speech that I made during that event, you will see it. In terms of agriculture, even they are the ones that are rushing on us to bring in the names of the farmers that are going to benefit. Fertilizers, let me answer. You've asked me a question. Fertilizers, will you allow me?
Just a moment.
You know, every day I come, we have our exchange. Yeah. Well, let's not do it today.
But the question I'm asking,
let me land.
I don't want you to derail this conversation.
I'm not derailing. You asked me that, did he perform? And I'm giving you his performance. So he has done excellently well. And you know what? He has given Kano over 40, underline the word, 40 political appointments, key appointments in the federal government. Why will Kano people not vote him? Why?
You're talking about political appointments.
So ask your question.
But what with the talakawas, the ones that cannot understand these Turenchi as they will say in the local parlance. Those who those who have been dragged into more poverty since this government got into power. Those who are very, very hungry, what would they say? The Talakawas, they are the ones, they are the voters that will vote on that day. Those are the ones Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia movement are appealing to, the Talakawas, the poor people. They are the ones, the average person. How do you tell them that, well, your pains are ongoing, your sufferings are ongoing, the hunger in your land, you have lost a lot of weight, you have shed a lot of weight, because this government has promised you that it's going to bring gains to you, but the gains have not yet come. But still vote this government anyways. How do you couch? I want to hear how you will couch that message to those people tonight.
Well, of course, I am not here to campaign, and I think it's quite unfair to you to expect me to capture exactly what I am going to say at the rally. I think you're taking it to the...
if you speak outside language, I will interpret for you.
You are taking it to the...
but those are the people that will vote in Kano. And I asked you for the mathematics of how Tinubu is going to win in Kano.
Remember, the last time I came here, I said to you that one of the missing links has always been the gap in communication. And believe me, from that time to now, there's been a lot of communication going on, and people are getting to know. I told you the last time when I was having a gathering, I said it here in this program, that people were shocked to hear that the Bichi station has been completed. They're shocked to hear the volume of equipment that were in Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, because they had not been told. Because somebody is going to the hospital, getting things done free, and coming back home. But he doesn't know. And someone is telling him someone else is doing it. So a lot of communication is going on. And they're seeing the roads. And particularly like for the governor in Kano, he's also doing a lot of rural roads. Every local government is completed about 5 kilometers of road. He's building classes. He's renovating classes. He's building health centers. He's renovating existing health centers. He's turned Kano to a construction site. So you see, maybe your perception from outside, the issue of poverty, yes, poverty is there, but poverty has always been there. But all the government does,
but compounded, what the government has done is to now increase more people, more people in the
we don't measure it that way. If we measure it that way, then we will say, since you were born, have you ever heard in this country where they say something is better? So it means that perhaps there's a missing link. It is either we are not understanding the dynamics of how the economics works, or we are not being realistic with fact, because I know that I personally, since I grew up, what I've heard is that any other government that comes, people like you who interview will come and say, people are hungry. The next government that comes, you will come and say, people are hungry. The next government that comes, you will come and say, people are hungry. Now, I can put a bet with you, but God forbid, we believe that President Tinubu will set the stage for sustainable development. Otherwise, I would have said, after Tinubu again, you will come back here to this station and say, people are hungry. Yesterday it was Buhari, people are hungry. The day before yesterday it was Jonathan, people are hungry. Before then it was Yaradua, people are hungry. Before then it was Obasanjo, people are hungry. Before then, it was Abacha. People are hungry. Before Babangida, people are hungry. The same thing. Then when the next person comes, you say, oh, the previous man was better. The next person comes, oh, the previous man is better. That is the same thing you did when the First Lady talked about small and medium scale sellers, petty sellers, and the rest that exist all over the world. And you people just change it as if everybody will be Aliko Dangote, as if everybody will be a Femi Otedola, as if everybody. No, there's that chain.
Let me ask you, and you know, let me tell you. Wow, we are due for a break. But I know that
you've left the hunger issue now.
No, I need to go on a break.
You've now gone on a break.
I need to go on a break.
So that you will go and equip your weapons.
But you were in primary school when SAP was going on.
Structural adjustment program.
Yeah.
Correct. I was in primary
school.
I was in primary school.
You were in primary school.
I was in primary
school. And you know what happened at that time.
Look,
and you know the economic development of this country.
I will tell you this as an economist.
But
almost all the policies, the economic policies, from the rolling plans, all to the diversification, transformation, etc., and the rest till date, they are similar in nature. They intend to achieve the same objective. The missing link has always been sustainability. And that is why when I hear people saying they want to come and reverse what President Tinubu has done, we're going back again to square one. This is the first time.
You're talking about Atiku Abubakar's...
No, I didn't mention him, please.
Well, he was the one who talked about subsidy. A couple of there are those who have faulted the policy of this government to say, look, this policy.
I told you so. We're going on break.
We're going on break. But since you thought that going on break is a way to derail
run away.
No.
Because I was firing you.
Because when you were not firing me. I'm listening to you because I invited you to come and speak, and as such, I need to allow you to speak. Because the question I'm talking about here, and I draw the inference of the social adjustment program in the 80s to you because of the fact that when the Bible mentioned how poor we remain in the society. It's an economic phenomenon. But the question is the quantum of people that this government has dragged into poverty in the last 3 years. 63% of Nigeria is living below the poverty line. 27 million Nigerians face food insecurity. And you are saying that these Nigerians should now look at what? What indices are you going to be telling them?
Will you allow me to answer?
Please go ahead.
Now that you have the statistics, can you give me the statistics of the numbers of the people that have been put out of poverty?
When more people have been
put... As a journalist.
No. I'm telling you that more people have been
put... Even if it is not up to that.
Does it make a rational economic sense?
It shows
when more people have been put into poverty.
It shows that your analysis, your research is unfounded, your research is faulty. No any project supervisor. No, any project supervisor.
I understand that you have a PhD in economics.
Yeah. Of course.
Data and figures should be the baseline.
Of course, you should show balance.
Now, so when we are discussing policies, when we are discussing policies and governance, data is important.
Now,
do you agree with the IMF figures? Do you agree with the IMF figure? Which said that the macroeconomic is looking good, but it's saying the microeconomic is not making sense.
I've given you an answer.
More people are being poor.
I've given you an answer. I said I do not, because I've asked you a simple question. As a lawyer who looked at issues from all angles, and as a journalist, world-class journalist, you're one of our best in this country. You go do research, you just take numbers of people who have gone into poverty, and you cannot give me the numbers of those who have been put out of poverty.
It's your job.
I will put 0 in your research work. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. I will send you back. I will send you back to go and do more research. How many people has
your government pulled out of poverty?
Let's just agree that.
No. Give me the figures.
Look.
Give me the figures. No. You can't run away. Give me the figures, honorable. Give me the figures.
Let's just agree.
I just told you.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time you will come with a balanced perspective, because what you've gone to do is to look at everything that you can find to criticize the Tinubu's government without doing an appraisal. What you're supposed to do is an appraisal. It's not a critique. What you are doing is a critique.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No, it's a critique.
I didn't make a judgment.
No. But it's one-sided.
No. I asked you a question. What the IMF says.
And I said...
IMF says... IMF says that macroeconomic resilience has improved. That's what the IMF said. But in that same breath, the IMF has said that poverty has reached 63% on Nigeria's national poverty line.
In a country that couldn't sustain its state allocation anymore, to a point where the governors before the election, if you don't know this, let me tell you this. The governors, because I'm an insider, before the 2023 election, had to go around the presidential candidates to tell them the dangerous state that the economy is, that the states cannot be funded. A country that cannot pay salaries of its workers. A country that cannot guarantee supply of fuel. A country that is saddled with massive subsidy scam. A country that is hiding its figures exactly what Greece did. We were suppressing. We were doing a classic case of artificially managing our foreign exchange rate, because that's not the value of our naira. We're spending billions to hold the value of our naira at what it is. And you are sitting here as a good Nigerian, as a reasonable Nigerian. State government are taking between 300 to 500% more than what they are getting. And trust me, everywhere you go, you will find issues. But the governors are working. I know for one that my governor is working extensively with that money. Both empowerment, both scholarship, roads, infrastructure, everything is being pumped into. The exchange rate has stabilized. Let me tell you, have you forgotten what SIM card used to cost during those days when they started the mobile network?
33,000.
33,000. Now zero. It costs nothing. We need a bit of time, and we've stabilized, and things will keep stabilizing and going.
All right.
But you see, we need to be careful when we keep taking this narrative of 33 million people. Where did you get the number from?
IMF,
where did IMF?
Where
is IMF?
The same IMF.
Look, where is IMF?
Just a moment.
Where is IMF?
Just give me a moment.
We have over 100,000 units in this country. Where did IMF go to?
Just give me a moment, sir. We need to go on a break. And when we come back, this campaign should be about issues. What has Tinubu done? What are the options, the alternative? What would anybody do better than what is being done now? These are the issues we will stay on through this campaign period. I will be asking, what is the need for the average person? Those of you who are watching me tonight. When we come back from the break, we'll dwell more on the politics of 2027, the narratives and the rhetorics that we're saying. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Malaria? Again?
I'm beginning to think this malaria is spiritual.
Madam Landlady, there is nothing spiritual about this. It is obvious you've not taken the right medication.
Luta contains artemether and lumefantrine, and it's used to treat malaria.
Hey, Oga Luta, thank you for your intervention the other day. I feel very okay now.
Luta is another quality product from Hovid and marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited.
With Luta, malaria is in big trouble.
It doesn't show the unpopularity of your party.
Will sweep Osum. No, it doesn't affect it. In any way, I'm telling you this, it doesn't. They know, even the opposition, they know that it doesn't. When it comes to the presidential election, it's a different ballgame. Remember, even in the previous election, Makinde won the governorship election. But when it comes to the presidential election, look, the Southwest, I've had people say, they will try, some candidates say they will split vote in the Southwest. Look, whoever is calculating the votes that he will pinch from other, he can calculate to pinch from other regions. But in the Southwest, will go one way.
Let me tell you something, and you know this truth. We may not agree because of political expediency, and some of the figures that I've reeled out to you are reality. If there is something that will affect or the chances of your party at the poll, are the reality, economic realities of this. People are hungry. People are suffering in this country, Honorable. Whether you think that it's an age-long problem or not, you will feel it. But you need to be strategic in thinking about the sensibility of the average person. Honorable, the president's popularity in the North as a political figure, there are those who are concerned that it's diminishing, and there is a gang-up politically against the president.
Well, you see, this is going to be repetitive, because I've answered this extensively in the previous election. I said election, in the previous interview that I had. Yes, there are a couple of propaganda that were going on, essentially the issue of saying there's lopsided appointment, there's lopsided project, and we've addressed the whole of that. And I can see they are no longer holding on that, because we've reeled out a lot of projects that the president has embarked on and has even completed.
Whether they agree or not, you will feel it at the polls. Just like the video song is, you will feel it at the polls. Whether they agree.
Entitled to draw
just
your conclusion.
No, I'm not drawing conclusion.
But your conclusion is not right.
I'm not drawing conclusion.
Yeah, you said
English. I said whether you agree, you will be. It will be fair. So if people think that it is true, they will. There are other issues that have been brought up.
You know the good news
the president's qualification.
You are wrong.
Again, are you hearing what is happening in the U.S. about the time the president was in the U.S., issue of Chicago, and a lot of issues relating, and whether or not those things will be made public. These things have been brought up again in this season. You don't think, even the Muslim ticket, you don't think all of these factors may have an effect?
Well, on the other issue that you are talking about, look, this matter has been a subject of litigation for decades. And over time, the president has won severally in court. But because it has been a subject of litigation, the best persons to make comment about this matter are the lawyers that are involved in the matter, the lawyers that have dealt with the matters, and I think that is the best approach to it. You can get the lawyers that are dealing the matter to deal with it, but let me tell you.
What would you say if the Nigerian people punish your party at the polls?
Every level,
because of what they feel that is a sustained pain.
The president has succeeded against his antagonists. And this time around, go and write it. President Bola Tinubu will be sworn in for a second term.
Thank you so much. I'm good. Okay. We're totally out of time. Totally out of time. Honorable Kofa Abdulmumin Bebeji Jibrin, thank you so much for your time tonight. I appreciate it. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Wakimale. God bless you.